Hello friends, this is a short guide on how to never lose money again with paid advertising. And if you're running paid ads or thinking about paid ads, then I am so glad that you decided to click on this video. So if you didn't know, 75% of all online advertisers are currently losing money or breaking even, which basically means that the things I'm about to show you are not known by most advertisers. So just by knowing this will put you ahead of 3/4 of your competition, which is super exciting. To run profitable ads, you must have a crystal clear idea of how much you can afford to pay for a customer. If you don't know this information ahead of time, then you're basically driving blind and you are tempting fate. You are probably going to lose money with ads if you aren't already. So you need to understand what this is. This is your maximum CAC, or maximum cost to acquire a customer. And the question is, how do we calculate this for your business? The answer is we have created a worksheet for you. So find the link in the description, click that link. It's going to go straight through to a Google Sheet, and then you can just make a copy of that to edit it. So this is the worksheet here, and I'm just going to go through step by step really quickly around how you can figure this out for your business. So there's 3 numbers we need here to calculate your maximum acquisition cost. The first one is your total revenue for the last 12 months. So what you're going to do is you're going to jump across to your Shopify dashboard, or if you're using another platform, then find your reports and analytics. And we're just going to jump in here and find the last 12 months. And so in this particular instance, we have made $298,120.83, which is lovely. And then we're just going to paste that right in here. Boom, winning. Okay. The next one is a little bit trickier. So total active customers in the last 12 months. On Shopify, there is a couple ways to do this, but I will show you the simplest way. We are going to go to your returning customer rate, and then you're going to go metrics, and you're going to delete that, and then we're going to go group by none, last 12 months, and then it is going to show me the total number of customers that have bought something from my store in the last 12 months. So that's 3,043. So I'm just going to copy that and I'm going to paste it in here. And that is going to give me my customer lifetime value for the last 12 months, which is super exciting. So then from here, if you don't know what your gross profit margin is or your cost of goods sold, then I would like you to make an educated guess. Generally, most brands are working to a 50% gross profit margin. So if you don't know, you can calculate this by, going through, looking at how much you're selling things for, or your average order value, and then how much it's costing to fulfill that. So the cost of goods, shipping, all of that sort of stuff. But generally, as a placeholder, we can use 50%. In this case, for this business, they actually have a much higher gross profit margin of 70%, which is just fantastic. And then that's gonna give you your lifetime gross profit, which in this case is $68.58. Ipso facto, your max CAC is $22.86, which is basically your lifetime gross profit divided by 3. This is basically the golden ratio. If you can achieve a average customer acquisition cost of less than that, then you have the makings of a super profitable business. Obviously, you can be way higher than that. You can have a 1 to 4, a 1 to 6, a 1 to 10 even. And in that case, you just want to scale the crap out of it because you know that it's going to be profitable. And so that's that. So now that we've identified our maximum customer acquisition cost, I'm just going to show you how to apply this in a real world setting. So I'm going to jump across to the ad account for this business, and we're just going to look at the last 30 days and we can see here that we have spent just under $19,000, and we have made $118,000 at a return on ad spend of 6.29, which is really, really cool. And what has guided us through this process is our maximum customer acquisition cost, our Max CAC, right? Because basically I want to ensure that while I'm spending money on ads, it's below our Max CAC, which in this case is only $13.52. So we are much lower than our maximum CAC, which means that this is a really, really profitable ad account. So the way this can work, even if we drill down, is if we're testing, different ad sets or different creatives, we can see all of these different ads. And then if we go across to the cost per purchase, we can see all of these different ads here. We can see this particular ad spent a certain amount of money, but it did not hit our Max CAC target, so we went ahead and turned that off. Whereas if we see here, some of the big spenders with more purchases are definitely under that Max CAC amount. In this particular case, we've got an ad that's running here, which is really exceeding our CAC by quite a long shot. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm actually just going to pull in the last. Let's look at the last 7 days. And okay, so in the last 7 days, we have achieved the Max CAC, which is awesome. But in most cases, if you're spending a certain amount of money and you're just constantly exceeding that target CAC, then you should just go ahead and turn that ad off. So that's just an example of the power of knowing what your Max CAC is and using that to your advantage to ensure that you never lose money with paid advertising again. And this isn't just for Meta ads, this can be for Google ads, any ad platform, it literally doesn't matter. The most important thing is if you are spending money on marketing and customer acquisition, you know exactly how much you can afford to spend per customer, and therefore it's going to give you a whole lot more control over your spend. So in summary, we are Shopify marketing experts. If you're interested in working with us, we do this sort of work for loads of different brands all around the world, and you can find more information about us at www.peak.pro. Otherwise, happy advertising and go get that ecom money, guys. See you later.